Okay, so the next author we have is Tina Mayer. I do want to show, I like to show these the graphics that Dawn created that they're so beautiful.
Hmm.
So I'm going to share them. I've got um there. You put so much work into it. I want to make sure that everybody gets to enjoy it. So Tina Mayer is one of our co-authors, and her chapter is called "Stop, Drop, and Roll: Transforming Conflict Through Conscious Communication." We were talking a bit about communication with Anne, and it's something that I'm going to ask you a few questions, and maybe even off script to tap into your expertise. But what's the one message? Oh, wait, Dawn, should we go into statistics yet, or just go right into asking Tina?
Go ahead and right into it, and then I'll check them while you're talking.
Gotcha. You can always like give me a notification of another category that we hit. Okay, so what's the one message you hope readers take from your chapter, Tina?
To calm down and to not react, but to respond. Because I'm not an alienated parent. I'm not an alienated child. I have been working in this field for over 10 years now. Feels like longer. And the one thing that I have consistently seen is that the people who can calm down and not just be reactive have a tendency to have a better and faster result because they're not creating more mess to clean up. Sometimes because it's hard, it's emotional. Like these are your children, and it's very hard to rein in emotions. It's very hard to not want to scream, shout, or other toward people who are hurting you actively, especially if they're actively hurting you. And what happens though is that we get noise. I just get noise. Like if I'm the professional in the middle trying to figure out what's going on, this is what my world looks like. And I'm trying to figure out where the problems are, how can we start eliminating things? And if somebody doesn't stop moving, if both people are moving, then this is all I'm getting. But if I can get people to calm down, and then one person who is usually the person causing the most problem cannot calm down, then I can go, okay, all right, I got you. I know where the problem is now, and I can start focusing on how to fix that part. And that comes mostly through how people communicate because OFW, which is my favorite thing in the world too, by the way. I love that communication. I love the tools. But I'll go into OFW and I'll read these messages passing back and forth. And
OFW is our family wizard.
yes, sorry, I'm so used to using that just acronym. I forget that it's not common for people do look at me so strangely, but it's a communication tool, and it's a really great way for co-parents who who need a little extra help and a little bit of extra support. It's a great tool for that. But I'll go on and I'll read the communications between the two, and it's just combative, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, with absolutely no value toward resolution. And so what do your kids need? They need peace because they need the parents to come down. There are times and there are going to be some cases where definitely that's just not going to ever be easy. But when you can learn how to effectively communicate, I was listening to the previous authors and they're kind of saying the same thing. It's like you need to find that space within yourself to say, what's important to me and can I stay focused on that? And that is your child. What do they need? They need peaceful parents. They need people who can communicate. So if there's one tool in everybody's toolbox that they can perfect and get help with or do whatever needs to be done, but that calming down, don't react, communicate effectively, and if you cannot, get help with it. Get help with it. Anne was mentioning the AI and OFW, Our Family Wizard does have what's called a tone meter, and it will kind of read your tone. You can also there's so many groups now that are doing editing of text messages and emails and things. And so take advantage of those things. But the most important thing is that you learn how to do this better for the reunification between yourself and your child, communicating with them, communicating with the other parent, communicating with the court, that what you're putting out there isn't just the chaotic you, but somebody who can solve the problems and help get to that resolution space.
Yeah, I mean, as humans, we're emotional beings, and emotions can be very irrational, you know, illogical. I mean, there's just so many things that we're feeling, and it's really hard to put it into words. I know that some of us, as especially as targeted parents, maybe we spent years just being a doormat, just sort of like just being dismissive of the way that we were being treated. And then it's like the first time we've stood up for ourselves. Now, that is a question I had for you is how do you be forgiving, like Anne was speaking about, and not feel like you're reverting back to the doormat person. If you ask, if you forgive the person, you it's much easier to hate. It's much easier to villainize them, so that you don't lose yourself. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because forgiveness is an action for within your own self. So the article really is more about the only person on the planet you have control over in a complete way is yourself.
Mhm.
So you have to master that part. Now, you can forgive somebody and still keep appropriate boundaries, still keep distant. You can still communicate effectively. It's about finding that calmness. So if you want to change the word, not everybody shares the idea, and I know that there are a lot of experts out there who will tell you you don't have to forgive. Forgiveness is okay, so change the word. It's not about necessarily forgiving to become a doormat again, as you use. It's about calming yourself down to a space where you don't have to feel aggressive hatred to where you have to act on it. You can still feel angry. I mean, anger in and of itself is a tool because it does drive us forward in a lot of ways. But it's managing that feeling and not just letting it manage you. It's a self-control thing as opposed to just outwardly being able to say, well, you're forgiven, so just come back in. That's not this, that's different. It's really about inner peace and about being able to be calm inside in a chaotic space, which is not easy, by the way. Like I am the first who'll throw my hands up and put me in a traffic situation and I'm inside my little car and I, I road rage in my internal space and not like let things out. We're human beings. Find spaces where it's safe to do it. Usually not in an email, not in a text message, not in, now unless you're emailing or text messaging your best friend and you're like, I just need a vent and you let it all out. But where and how you do that, it's about having self-control and letting it come out in appropriate ways to the appropriate people to where you're not damaging what's going on outside of you and with your children. I don't know if I answered that very concisely, but
It's an ongoing practice.
and it
It's
is a
not something you can
practice.
learn.
It is a practice. And so often what I've done for my clients is I will edit their emails or text messages. And I don't think I shared this in the article, but there was one particular father who had not seen his daughter in 40 years. And they were trying to there was a problem that needed to be solved with an inheritance thing in another country, and it was a lot of things, a lot of moving parts. But basically, what did it was just an editing of his communications to make him less egocentric sounding and to be more child focused and to take a lot more of the opinions out or the aggressiveness out or the controlling out and just make it neutral. Like, this is a problem we need to solve. And same message that he was trying to convey is, I want to meet you and I want to know you, but just less aggressively done. And so now it thrills me. Every once in a while, he'll still send an email, and be like, "Hey, we're still communicating." And they did actually meet for the first time in 40 years. And so it don't give up. But communication was one thing where that really drove that home. It was the communication and how he was communicating that made the difference there.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time on a Saturday to help us. Thank you for contributing your amazing chapter to this project, and being part of our alliance of that's bringing light and bringing hope to the world. Um, and yeah, one of these days we'll definitely have to have a conversation about what in the world would bring you to this space.
I don't know. I'm a little masochistic, I think. I don't know. But I'm going to go order my books so that I can have
Yes.
them available for people. And so thank
Yeah.
you so much for including me. I do appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tina.
All right.
Thanks.
I'm gonna pause this.